Hello everyone, I am Kalyani Shashikant Chaudhary, Faculty of Civil Engineering Department from Vishwa Bharati Academy's College of Engineering, Ahilyanagar. Today we will start the second lecture of Unit 1, that is Compass and Leveling. The content of this lecture is as follows. Number 1, scale. Number 2, chain survey. Number 3, ranging. Number 4, traversing. Number 5, meridian. Number 6, bearing. First of all, we will study that what is meant by scale. If the area on the ground is so large and we have to represent or draw this area on paper, so we have to assume some suitable scale. That is, 1 centimeter on paper is 10 meter on ground, and in this way we will draw all the details on the paper. This ratio of dimensions between ground and paper is known as scale. So, in short, we can say that scale is the ratio of distance on plan or map to the distance on ground. For example, 1 centimeter on paper represents x meter on ground. Scale can be represented by the following methods. Number 1, numerical method, and number 2, graphical method. Now, the ways of representation of numerical method. Number 1, engineer scale. 1 centimeter is equals to x meter. In engineer scale, we can take the different units. Number 2, representative fraction. 1 centimeter is equals to x centimeter. In representative fraction, scale is represented in the form of fraction. The only condition is we have to take some same unit for both. Now, there are some other types of scale, that is plane scale, measured up to 2 dimensions, that is meter and decimeter. Diagonal scale, it is measured up to 3 dimensions, that is meter, decimeter and centimeter. Now, we will study the chain survey. Before understanding what is chain and all, we will have a look on some basic definitions. Chaining. Chaining is the process of measuring the distances with the help of chain. Chaining. It is the distance measured along the main survey line in the direction of progress of work. In chain survey, 2 persons are required, leader and follower. Leader, the person who is at the end of the chain, and follower, the person at the start of the chain who holds the zero. In this slide, we can see the 20-meter chain. 30-meter and 20-meter chains are there, but here we will study the details of 20-meter chain. Now here you can easily identify who is leader and who is follower. Follower, the person at the start of the chain, that is who holds the zero, and leader, the person at the end of the chain. This is the metric type of chain. This is used to calculate the distance on fairly level ground. There is a method to read the distance on chain. Now, observe the diagram carefully. There are brass rings and different types of tallies are there. That tallies have their own meaning. Brass ring is provided at 1 meter interval. One link is equals to 20 centimeters. There are 5 links in 1 meter chain. Now, how to measure the distance with the help of chain, we will study in this slide. For this, first of all, observe the diagram carefully. If you want to measure the distance of 100 meter, and we know that our chain is of 20 meter and 30 meter. Assume that we are using 20 meter chain, and with the help of this 20 meter chain, we have to measure the 100 meter distance. Then, we have to follow the following procedure. Now, listen what I'm saying and observe the diagram simultaneously. There are 6 steps. In first diagram, you can see 100-meter length. With the help of some vertical lines, I divide it into 20-meter length. As we all know that who is follower and who is leader, follower who holds the zero and leader who holds the end point. According to that, they take their own position. After measuring the 20-meter distance, leader drives an arrow at the end point and moves forward. For this, observe second diagram. Now, in third diagram, as leader moves forward, follower takes leader's position and collect that arrow. In fourth diagram, again, where chain ends, leader drives an arrow there and moves forward. Observe fifth diagram. As leader moves forward, follower take leader's position and collect that arrow. This procedure goes till the end of the length. And then finally the distance is measured with the help of this formula. That is, total length is equals to length of one chain into number of arrows collected. Here we can calculate the total length like length of one chain is equals to 20 meter and the number of arrows are 5. That is 20 into 5 is equals to 100 meter. So up to this slide, we come to know that what is chain and how we can measure the distance by it. Now, the chain survey is recommended when the ground is more or less leveled, a small area is to be surveyed, a small scale map is to be prepared, and the formation of well-conditioned triangle is easy. Chain survey is unsuitable when number 1, the area is crowded with many details. Number 2, the area consists of too many undulations. Number 3, the area is very large. Number 4, the formation of well-conditioned triangles become difficult due to obstacles. Now, the difference between well-conditioned triangle and ill-conditioned triangle. In well-conditioned triangle, the angle is between 30 degree and 120 degree. That is, angle should not be less than 30 degree and should not be more than 120 degree. In ill-conditioned triangle, the angle is not in between 30 degree and 120 degree. That is, angle is less than 30 degree and more than 120 degree. Apex points are sharp and well defined in well-conditioned triangle, and apex points are not sharp and well defined in ill-conditioned triangle. Observe the diagram carefully. There are 3 images. Number 1 is ideal triangle, number 2 well-conditioned triangle, and number 3 ill-conditioned triangle. Now, the types of chain. 4 types of chain are there: metric chain, Gunter chain or surveyor chain, cadastral chain or revenue chain, and engineer's chain. Metric chain. It is used to measure distance on fairly level ground. Metric chain is of 20 meter and 30 meter. Gunter chain or surveyor chain. It is used to measure distance in miles or acres. Length is equals to 66 feet and 100 links are there. 1 mile is equals to 80 Gunter's chain and 1 acre is equals to 10 into Gunter's chain square. Cadastral chain or revenue chain. It is used in cadastral survey. The length of it is 33 feet and 16 links are there. Engineer chain. It is used in engineer's survey. 100 feet length of it and 100 links are there. Now, the important terms in chain survey. Observe the diagram carefully and try to understand what I am saying. Main station points A, B, C, D. Observe the diagram for that. Okay. Now, what is main station point? The important points marked on the boundary of the area to be surveyed is known as main station point. Main survey line AB, BC, CD, and D. The line joining the main station points is known as main survey line. Baseline BD. Observe the diagram. Okay. The longest line in the surveyor is the baseline. It is the most important line in surveyor and it is passes to the center of the area to be surveyed. Check line S2 and A. It is used to check the accuracy of work. The length of the check line as measured on ground should be equal with its length on plan. Tie lines T1 and T2. It is the line drawn from main survey line to the baseline. Now, offsets. The lateral dimensions, perpendicular or oblique, taken from the baseline are known as offsets. There are two main types of offset, that is long offset and short offset. When the distance is more than 15 meters, it is known as long offset. And when the distance is less than 15 meters, then it is known as short offset. Perpendicular offset. When angle is of 90 degree. Oblique offset when angle is other than 90 degree. Instruments used in chain survey. Here you can see a table. There are 3 columns in it. In first column, instrument name is there. In second column, its diagram is there. And in third column, its uses are there. Okay. Number 1, chain. It is used to measure the length. Number 2, it is used to measure length or offset. Number 3, arrows. In survey sectors, arrows are used for mark boundaries and important points. In chain surveying, to mark the ends of the chain's delimiting distance. Number 4, ranging rod. It is used in ranging process. Number 5, peg. It is used to locate the position of points in a survey line. Number 6, open cross staff. It is used to measure 90-degree angle. Range cross staff. It is used to measure 45-degree and 90-degree angle. Number 7, adjustable cross staff. It is used to measure any degree angle. Now, the ranging. The process of establishing the intermediate points on a straight line is known as ranging. Observe the diagram carefully. Rod 1 and rod 2 are the main points, and to establish the intermediate points, we use rod 3 and rod 4. Now, the types of ranging. Number 1, direct ranging. Number 2, indirect or reciprocal ranging. Number 3, random line method. Direct ranging. Direct ranging is suitable when the end stations are visible. In direct ranging, minimum 3 rods are required. In direct or reciprocal ranging, when end stations are not visible, indirect ranging is done. In this, minimum 4 ranging rods are required. Observe the points A and B. These 2 points are not visible directly. So first, we take M point. From that, we can observe point A and point B. Same for N point. And in this way, this ranging is done. Random line method. It is used in dense forest area. Now, traversing. Traversing is the type of survey in which a number of connected survey lines form the framework and the direction and length of survey lines are measured with the help of an angle measuring instrument, tape or chain respectively. There are two types of traverse, closed traverse and open traverse. Closed traverse. When the starting and end point meet each other, that is, starting and end point is same, then it is known as closed traverse. Open traverse. When the starting and the end point do not meet each other, that is, starting and end points are different, then it is known as open traverse. Compass traversing, that is, compass survey. Compass surveying is used to determine the position of an object both by angular and linear measurements. Angular measurements are taken with the help of compass and linear measurements are taken with the help of chain or tape. Now, the meridian. Meridian is the fixed reference line about which angles are measured. Now, observe the both diagram carefully and try to understand the definition of meridian. True meridian. The line joining true north and true south is called as true meridian. Now, what is true north and true south? That is geographic north and geographic south. Okay. Magnetic meridian. The line joining the magnetic north and magnetic south is known as magnetic meridian. Grid meridian. For this, observe the diagram carefully. For survey of state in country, it is assumed that several lines are parallel to the true meridian. These lines are called grid lines and the center line is called grid meridian. Arbitrary meridian. The meridian taken in any convenient direction is called arbitrary meridian. Now, bearing. The horizontal angle with reference to the meridian is called bearing. Now, true bearing or azimuth. It is the bearing measured with respect to the true meridian. It is the angle between true meridian and the line, and it is constant. Magnetic bearing. It is the bearing measured with respect to the magnetic meridian. It is the angle between the magnetic meridian and the line, and it is not constant. Grid bearing. It is the bearing measured with respect to the grid meridian. Arbitrary bearing. It is the bearing measured with respect to the arbitrary meridian.